the verge now of all the bike nights starting. The season, as they call it, starting. I mean, if you've been following my films, you'll see that I don't really do seasons. I freeze my backside off all year round. But at least I'll get to see some people that I haven't seen for a few months, because there's plenty of people out there who do completely stop over the winter. Some of them don't like the cold and the wet. Most of them don't like the, and I must admit I'm one of them, don't like the salt and the crap that's on the roads. So I guess we're now that that's pretty much behind us, at least I don't have to hose the bike down every single time I get home. Because that was all I did. I just, if the bike was wet and the roads were salty, I'd just point a hose pipe at it to wash the salt off. I didn't necessarily give it a thorough deep clean. In fact, I very rarely give the bike a thorough deep clean. I'd much rather ride them than clean them. Occasionally they do get a clean, a soapy clean, but it's fairly occasionally. I'm definitely glad I don't own a bike with a load of chrome on it. I think polishing is definitely my least favourite thing to be doing. Looking back, I've not actually owned that. Subconsciously, I'm sure it is, because I can't remember ever really thinking about this before, but I've not owned that many bikes that are covered in chrome. Remember many moons ago, I've owned a few of them actually, but one in particular, I used to use that all the time in all weathers. I had an old a Meriden 650 Bonneville, early 70s bike. I bought it, it was quite old when I bought it, and it had been used. The previous owner used it all year, all weathers, and it was kind of, you know, it looked like it had been used, but it was in great condition, mechanically in great condition. It looked after it. And I remember after one winter, it was filthy. And I thought, right, I'm going to proper clean, deep clean this, and I'm going to buff the chrome up, expecting to find loads of rust and corrosion and a lot of dull metal. So I soaked it, cleaned it, scrubbed it, sponged it, you name it. I went to town on that bike and got the chrome polish out on the exhaust sag crash bars on it, and cleaned all them up, handlebars, grab rail, all that sort of stuff, and it came up like brand new. I was amazed at the quality of chrome on that bike. That was something the British, well, I don't know about, I can't speak for everybody, but definitely the British, as regards Triumph, old Triumph, were good at. They were good at fit, finish and paint. Perhaps not so good at modernising design, which led to their downfall. And definitely not so good at making their bikes oil tight. It didn't actually drip oil, but it kind of had an oily stain on the bottom of the crankcase, that bike did. But I can't really fault it. It was reliable, it kept going, never let me down. I paid very little for it. If I'd have hung on to it, it'd be worth considerably more now. Mind you, I can say that about a lot of bikes that I've owned. At the time, it was just a bike. And then as time goes by, it became desirable. That's not every bike I own, but it's a lot of them. And sometimes you think to yourself, how is that worth so much money? Because it wasn't even that special in the day. Clearo one day. I mean, I haven't got any old gems of classic bikes kicking around in my house, but I got some old stuff that I never bothered to throw away. Knowing my luck, it'll all be worth nothing. Usually how it goes. If I could live my life again, I'd never have bought a house. I'd have bought like a big old barn or an industrial unit parked a static caravan in the corner for me to live in and kept every single vehicle I owned. Mind you, I would have wanted to have ridden and driven them rather than sell them, so I probably would have been no better off doing that. Saturday afternoon and there's plenty of traffic around, unfortunately. Now you've got to be a little bit, ooh, lovely old E-Type Jag. Beautiful looking cars, absolutely terrible cars to drive. You've got to be a bit careful up here. That bit on the right there, it's quite often a speed camera, a mobile speed camera park there. Good thing is, when it's clear and dry and visibility's good like today, you can see it from quite a long way off. Well, that's me, another sunny day. I've got to go home, feed the cats. They'll be tapping their cat watches saying, "Where's my food, Dad?" But it's always good to get out, particularly when the sun's shining. A glorious day. Not amazingly warm, but it's not cold either. So until the next time, take care.